Hello, everybody. This is Joseph Morris. This is your first look at the campsite that Dog the Bounty Hunter has discovered where Brian Laundrie allegedly hung out. So let's get right into it. Go get him, dog. Woo! Yes, this is where Dog said he was at. That's campsite 1. That's where Dog the Bounty Hunter said he was at. They have not found Brian yet. But this is the campsite. So hopefully this clue leads to something. Hey, Joe. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Lily. You're hot. That's one way to get my attention. Pretty crazy. You see the water there? Wow. So I guess this is the washrooms. Yeah, so basically there were, Dog the Bounty Hunter did get a tip that I guess, I'm not putting down the FBI or the police at all, but the neighbors were interviewed and said that Brian Laundrie did leave the laundry home right after Gabby Petito was reported missing. And Dog the Bounty Hunter did get the receipts that basically they did enter that campsite. The particular dates were September 1st to 2nd, as well as September 6th to 8th. They were registered to Fort DeSoto. So if we want to take a look at Fort DeSoto, it is in Florida by the water, facing the Gulf Coast. So it is kind of compelling that there is a water right there. So let's get into that. This is Fort DeSoto. So yeah, it's a pretty small area. So I'm not too sure if they found anything yet at this location.
Okay, let me look in the campground, which is right over here. The campground's over here. No, behind us. Sorry. They have a campground. It's going to be back. I'll show you. Yeah, this is a campground right here.
Yeah, that's the campground.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Pretty interesting stuff. Brian Laundrie went on a camping trip in Florida with his parents following Gabby Petito's disappearance. His lawyer actually confirmed Tuesday. So it's a little interesting that, a supposedly, missing person that could possibly be dead has a lawyer. An FBI agent actually made that comment, and I would have to agree. So the statement from the attorney Stephen Bertolino refutes recent claims by reality TV star Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman that Brian went on the run after his parents left Fort DeSoto in Pinellas County without him. The family the lawyer said the family camped from September 6th to September 7th, and they all left the park. Now, Dog the Bounty Hunter has a different story when it comes to this. Dog the Bounty Hunter says that they were actually in the September 1st to September 2nd. They were in that campground, and then as well as September 6th to September 8th. Their lawyer is saying September 6th to September 7th, only one day. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean that Dog the Bounty Hunter's story doesn't add up? I'm not sure, but the lawyer basically did say that they did actually go to that campground, so that's what we need to know. And Dog the Bounty Hunter basically has said that, and it has been corroborated by their attorney, Laundrie's attorney. So that is pretty exciting information. I remember when I first broke the story, there was some speculation that maybe this is all just made up, but Dog the Bounty Hunter basically assured us that it wasn't made up. We can watch that clip right here.
Dog. Luis.
Sure.
Luis. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. So I'm just going to record this. So what did you guys discover at what's the deal with the campground?
So we discovered that on the early September, the mother and father have registered to stay at a campground, and you got the name from the 1st to the 3rd. And they stayed in campground number 1. Then on the 6th through the 8th of September, they registered again to stay at the campground, and this time they stayed in space 15. When they came in, at least on the 6th, there were three people in the vehicle, which was the truck, at the dad's house. And you have to fill out a piece of paper, and whoever filled it out said Brian, his mom, and his dad, right? So when they saw the truck leave on the 8th, there was only 2 people in it, not 3. This place is, how many acres, honey, is it? Hundreds of acre place that has got small islands all the way around it. So in a canoe or a, what's it called that he could have stolen?
Any kind of little boat.
What is it called? The little boat?
The canoe.
No, something else. This is for the ocean.
Kayak.
You think he could be out on one of those islands?
Yes.
And do you have surveillance video? Have you seen video of him going into the campground?
No, but I've got information that they got it. This is for sure. I wouldn't bust this loose without it being for sure.
And did you tell the FBI?
Well, who do I call? They're off.
Told the authorities.
The FBI's off at 5. They don't work on weekends. Who do I call?
So you called the authorities, though? You called police?
Yes, I called some of my friends, that
Okay.
we met by the dad. But yes, this is for sure good. Absolutely positive. They checked in there. They left, and he didn't leave with them. There's a huge possibility that yes, he could be there. And there's also a possibility that he was there and left. But for one thing, for absolutely sure, he was there in September. For positive.
Yeah, so someone wrote, Brian, turn yourself in to Dog. Call 1-888-TELL-DOG. Yes, that's exactly it. So I think initially when I reported this story, I had my own suspicions, and I don't want to be that person to be like throwing shade on Dog the Bounty Hunter, but basically the attorney of the Laundrie family did corroborate the Dog the Bounty Hunter story, except there is some discrepancy between the dates. The attorney says that it was a different date. Let me just get my facts straight right here. They basically did say a different date, so yeah, September. They said September 8th. They checked out September. They came in September 6th and out on September 8th is what the lawyer's saying. September 6th and September 7th. The lawyer said September 6th and September 7th. Now, what does that mean? Is it mean that maybe he got the dates wrong? We don't know. But again, this is your first look inside the campsite of where Gabby Brian Laundrie could have went. So let's just play that again. I mean, wouldn't it be something to see the dog apprehend Brian after all the millions of dollars spent by the inept alphabet agencies? He would go from zero to hero real quick. Honestly, Dog's theory to me makes a lot more sense than the Laundries theory. The theory is that they loaded up their camper van and they went on a little camping trip. I got a lot of questions about, will the family be charged with aiding and abetting? And what exactly happens if the family is charged with aiding and abetting? Will they be on the hook for the Carlton Reserve search? There are allegations that essentially the Laundrie family did do a big cover-up and stalled purposely to allow their son to get away. This campsite is Fort DeSoto in Florida. It's about a 75-mile drive away from the Laundrie family home. And they basically, Dog the Bounty Hunter did corroborate that story that that he stayed at campsite 1 and 5. So let me just pull that up real quick after this video is finished. Yeah, so you see there's some water there. Very interesting. Yeah, so today there was this, before there was a statement from the attorney saying that the new Laundrie statement just sent by the attorney, Chris and Roberta Laundrie do not know where Brian is. They are concerned about Brian and hope the FBI can locate him. The speculation by the public and some in the press that the parents assisted Brian in leaving the family home or in avoiding arrest on a warrant that was issued after Brian had already been missing for several days is just wrong. So, I mean, now that this story is corroborated, honestly, it just is one more strike against the Laundries. I mean, I can name some facts that have been a strike against the Laundries. For one, September 1st, Gabby Petito returned home with Brian in tow, but Gabby wasn't in the van, even though it was Gabby's van. Again, the Laundrie family were married. Brian Laundrie was allegedly engaged to Gabby Petito. They were engaged. But when they returned home, and also being engaged, she lived at the home at the Laundrie residence for about just under 2 years. Just under 2 years, she lived at the Laundrie residence. So they were pretty much, it was like pretty much a daughter-in-law at that point. So it's pretty crazy that is what is happening, that they returned home without their daughter-in-law and they just acted like nothing was wrong. There are reports by the neighbors again, which a lot of people dismissed as fake news, but the neighbors have said they came home, they mowed their lawn, they also went camping. Now, again, a lot of reporters said that was fake news. Now we're getting this information from Dog the Bounty Hunter, who actually went as far as to go and check out that lead on the campsite, and it's corroborated. There are documents available that show this, as well as the attorney backing this statement up. So what does that mean? Are they hiding something? Very interesting news. Very interesting news. So again, if they are aiding and abetting their son to get away with something that is considered a federal crime, and they could potentially be punished for that in some way, including paying for the massive search that happened at Carlton Reserve. By the way, that search has been scaled back. For what reason, I don't know, but it has been scaled back. The FBI did go to the house and collect a sample and removed it with a little box. So thank you so much for joining and tuning in. I really love to see it. So that is the story for the lead story. It's inside the campground, Fort DeSoto Park, Florida. The attorney did back this up. So last night we were listening to a police scanner on Broadcastify to see if there was any sort of information. Nothing really came up, but here we are again, back at it. So first look inside the campsite. They stayed at campsite 1 and 15. So this is an exclusive first look inside the secluded waterfront campsite where Dog the Bounty Hunter claims Brian Laundrie is hiding out, as it's revealed that Brian and Gabby went there before. 2 months ago, the pair uploaded a series of photos to a hiking website that showed them relaxing on the beach and exploring the Fort DeSoto campground in Pinellas County, Florida, close to St. Petersburg. Reality star Dog, who joined the hunt for missing Brian over the weekend, says a tipster alerted him to several recent trips the Laundrie made to the remote spot, 75 miles north of the family home in Northport. A spokesman for the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office told that there is no search underway, and the only activity at the 1.13 acre site Tuesday was a handful of media helicopters circling ahead. Dog the Bounty Hunter himself said that he didn't submit this tip to the FBI. He did not submit this tip to the FBI, so that is very interesting, but he did submit it to the police, the authorities, and all such else. So Christopher, who's 62 years old, and Roberta, 55, have yet to talk publicly about Brian's disappearance or the slaying of his fiancée, Gabby Petito, who was just 22 years old. She was found dead in Wyoming after he returned from the cross-country van life trip without her on September 1st. So this is a very spooky look. The Laundries maintained their silence Tuesday when they were seen leaving home mid-morning to buy groceries at Walmart. Gabby and Brian also visited the DeSoto campground together, according to the review on The Dirt, which was posted 2 months ago. In one photo, Laundrie and Gabby are seen peering through the bars of a jail cell at an old fort. Now, there's just a lot of spooky things in this case. Very tranquil, very peaceful. Good evening. Wow, I'm back on. So this is my favorite photo. Honestly, if we catch this guy and he's behind bars and this is what happens, this is going to be like on my wall as a mural. I mean, it's Brian behind bars and Gabby smiling at him behind bars. It just gives me such chills. Pretty crazy to watch that. So just running through the evidence here. This is them again from that website, camping on that campground. You know, they're familiar with the area. They're familiar with the place. So it doesn't come as a surprise right now. These are the helicopters that were circling overhead last night. They said they haven't caught Brian Laundrie, but they feel like this may be closer on the trail. The FBI took over the search, and the police are no longer taking over. Again, this is the island where you know, potentially he could be. They're very small islands. Again, this search, there's only been media helicopters circling above, so there hasn't been a proper search of the island yet. Could he be on one of these islands? We don't know. Pretty amazing stuff. So there's a lot of abandoned houses on those islands, so it'd be very interesting to search these abandoned places. Maybe he knows that. Maybe he's been to one. Maybe his family did aid him in that. I believe Dog the Bounty Hunter said something about a kayak, something about, you know, a kayak happening. So could he have kayaked to one of these places on the island and stayed at one of these? We don't know yet, because there hasn't been a proper search of these islands as of yet. And I mean, just reading that there hasn't been a proper search of these islands does kind of bother me, because I feel like he could be tipped off that they did find this location, so they need to get on that real fast, real quick. I don't know when that's going to happen. We are paying attention to the police scanners, so I'll be here all night. This is once again from Gabby's Instagram. It's at the Fort DeSoto Historical Fort. So they did go out on a little trip there, and you know, it's funny how things kind of came back full circle. So, you know, last night we sat around and we listened to the dog clip, and it actually went very viral. So it's a lot of fun to just see this still in the news, people still caring about it. We also have the Laundrie. So this is the thing. Today at the memorial, the dad said the social media support for this case has been phenomenal. You know, we do want people to start paying attention to other missing cases reports. And honestly, I've always been a big fan of missing cases reports, especially in national parks. So this is like my jam. I paid attention to Missing 411 by this author that I do not know. But basically, yeah. So when I think about the social media coverage, I'm very happy that, you know, Red, White, and Bethune tipped him off. And now we have another social media coverage that did tip him off. We have the coverage of the neighbors being interviewed and them being put on live TV, and people pressuring Dog, who, you know, just listens to the public and does what he needs to do. And, you know, now we have a really hot lead. So let's keep it going, guys. Thank you so much. We have the Laundrie 911 call. So this call is a dispatcher basically inside their house. And so it's a bad week for the Laundries. They got swatted, where basically police cars were called on because there was a gunshot in their home. And it turns out to be a fake news report. And so, you know, they were swatted. People were let go, released. And so that happened. And then now the Dog the Bounty Hunter showed up, like the FBI showed up. And then after that, the next day, Dog the Bounty Hunter showed up. And what did they do when Dog the Bounty Hunter showed up? Especially because, you know, Dog is known for catching missing people with bounties on their heads. What do? They call the cops.
In the email, Roberta from that 1020 called it on 911.
What's that?
The address of the call, 4343.
Nothing. Whenever to North Iowa was landline, what was that traffic?
We just have the female from that 1020 call in on 911, reference the situation with the male.
Alright, 10-4. Yeah, it's, once you arrive, or if you're already there, and the occupants are requesting us to come up, just go ahead and go to the house and assist, and just to keep the peace. If they're not requesting us to come up, then just stay back and make sure that everything's good.
10-4, he's clear.
Alright, 10-4. 10-4. The main subject has already cleared the scene.
10-4.
All right, 10-4. Just go ahead and make contact with the complainant then.
23. Oh, the answer's over.
All right, guys. So last night on my podcast, I did play a clip where basically the cop was telling off people for putting flowers on their doorstep. And you know what they gone done? The delivery people now are, not paying attention to what the cops have to say. And guess what they're doing? They are putting the flowers on their doorstep. So yeah, yesterday there was a clip that went viral where the cop basically said, hey, all the stuff you're giving to the laundries and putting on their lawn is going to go into the trash. And there's been flower deliveries at that location. And the flower people are basically being like, you know what, we're putting it on your doorstep. And I love to see it. What kind of look would that be if the laundries went out and threw out those flowers? I mean, just ridiculous. Today there was a press conference and I just want you to listen to this clip. It's pretty spectacular.
Nicole called to report that Gabby was missing. The worst fears of any parent played out before our eyes. That nightmare became a reality when the Grand Teton search and rescue team located their beautiful daughter. During that time, they had an outpouring of love and affection and sympathy from not just their family and friends, but from the law enforcement community, the press. Smile and love of life made people gravitate to her. Gabby Petito loved life, loved people, and loved experiences. She was the bright light in everyone's life that knew her. Gabby's family does not want that light to dim, and they want to make some good from this awful tragedy. That's why they're starting the Gabby Petito Foundation. I'm joined today with Joe and Tara Petito, with Jim and Nicole Schmidt, and close friend Gary Ryder. They're going to make some statements, and after that, we're going to take some questions.
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that we encountered out west in Wyoming, all of the law enforcement agencies out there and across the country for doing an amazing job with locating Gabby. Especially want to thank the Teton County Search and Rescue Team, who is a all-volunteer agency that come together. They are highly trained, and they were a part of that mission to find Gabby, and they did an unbelievable job. We were so grateful for everybody out there. They were second to none. They were unbelievable, and we are forever grateful for that.
Yeah, it was a very heartfelt message. It was very heartfelt. And actually, it wasn't only just the dog that basically corroborated the story of the neighbors of them going to a campsite. There has been information. Brian's Laundrie's family visited Fort DeSoto Campground in September, the attorney says, but it was also public records. So a public records request from Pinellas County has revealed that Brian Laundrie's mother, Roberta Laundrie, checked into a campground at Fort DeSoto Park in early September. The record of registered campers showed Mrs. Laundrie checked into Site 001 Waterfront between September 6th and September 8th. According to Laundrie's family attorney, he says September 6th to September 7th. So which story is true? Basically in this, press release, the attorney for the Petito family said that, you know, they didn't help the family find Gabby. What are the chances the family are going to help find Brian? And I mean, that says it all. Dog the Bounty Hunter says that he is at another campsite, campsite 15. This is an interview with him behind the park. So let's get into that in the car. So
we're headed to a campground, a state campground that we have found out the parents were at in the beginning of September and around the 8th of September. They checked in here, 3 people went in, 2 people came out. The parents have not divulged that information to any police source at all. So we know that they rented, leased, whatever it's called, camp number 1 and camp number 15. So we're going to go look at both those camps and see if we can, who knows what you'll find. We're going to go look and see what we can find on the ground, around, maybe talk to campers that have been there a while. Did they see them? And do our investigation like that.
Yeah, there you go. So there we go about, this is your first look inside the camping site. So, this was taken very recently, I believe like today. So. So it looks like a really nice campground, a beautiful area with many hikes and easy walks is what it's called. It's based around a fort built in 1900. DeSoto contains more than 7 miles of waterfront, 11 floating docks, and multiple places to launch kayaks and canoes. Very interesting. So Dog says allegedly that the 3 people went in and only 2 people came out. And he says he has camera footage. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for all the awesome feedback. I really, really, really appreciate it. So yeah, again, the attorney basically said that they have no sort of, they don't know where their son is, and that's just the truth to it. The Laundrie has remained silent since, you know, all this happened, and basically hunkered down and hid inside their home as, you know, people are outside basically protesting and putting flowers. They're peaceful protesters, so they really want people to know that they are, you know, peaceful. So yeah, pretty amazing stuff here. This is basically this is a tip that the neighbors have sent in. I believe this was, I'm not sure if this was submitted to the FBI, but it could be a possible tip that, dog was following. It's a kind of low audio, so I'm sorry about the equalization.
Like it was them protecting their son, but I think they just took it too far. If their son was innocent, I don't feel that they should have lawyered up as soon as he came back into the state. And I felt that if he had nothing to do with it, then they should have released a statement somehow stating his innocence. Last time that we saw Gabby was right when we moved in June. They were working on the van, I guess to get ready for the trip. We never even knew they were going on a trip, but she was in the back of the van doing something, and as we pulled away, she turned, waved, I waved back, and she smiled, and we drove away. That's the last time we saw her. She was a pretty girl, and you see her turn around and just smile, and knowing that you see the images on their trip of her smiling, it is a haunting, was a haunting sight and memory.
Yeah, so these are public records of them at the campsite. Let's take a look at that. So this is all public. You can go out there and get it. So it does corroborate Dog the Bounty Hunter's story. Obviously, the names are put out, but you can see right here on the public record that it does corroborate Dog the Bounty Hunter's story and the neighbor's story as well. So both of those stories are corroborated. No fake news here. So we have Roberta Laundrie, September 6, 2021, as well as that's pretty much it. Now, do we know? Wait, September 8th, 2021. That's a little confusing. Oh, start date September 6th. So September 8th, 2021, which is really funny because start date, again, September 6th, end date, September 8th, 2021. What did the lawyer say? The lawyer say she left on the 7th. So again, according to public record, that what the lawyer said was incorrect. Let me just try to see if this is a correct source. Yep. This is according to WFLA, which is a Florida resource. According to the Laundries family attorney, Stephen Bertolino, the family camped from September 6th till September 7th, and they will left the park altogether. Now, again, just to say that again, the lawyer says September 6th through to September 7th. The public records say otherwise. The public records say September 6th through to September 8th. Roberta Laundrie, right there. So, right there. So there is some inconsistency to their story. Now, Dog did, this is public record. Dog did say that he had witnesses allege that the Laundries, all three of them came in, but only two came out. These are the witnesses that Dog allegedly had. You know what? Let's get into that clip. I play it around a lot, but because I find it very, very interesting and very exciting. So
down here in Florida, in Fort DeSoto, it's almost dark. So we had a very good lead come up today that he was down here in this park, not very far away. We checked our lead out. It is confirmed. The parents were down here 2 times. It was September 1st through the 3rd and September 6th through the 8th. They registered to stay at this park. They were registered, went through the gate, they're on camera, they were here. And they did enter. They did come here. Allegedly, what we're hearing is 2 people left on the 8th 3 people came in on the 6th and 2 people left on the 8th. I think he's been here for sure. So there's a lot of little islands around the area where we're at that he could get to on a canoe. We talked to the caretakers today of the islands. They said he could be out here, that he was here for sure, not over in the swamp.
Someone wrote, if I saw Brian, I would anacondas wrap myself around him, call the cops, I got him. That's hilarious because we all know he's in the swamp. And is he surviving in the swamp? I don't know. We don't know he's in the swamp, sorry. But basically there are people saying that he cannot be in the swamp because he wouldn't have lasted this long. There would have been birds flying around him by now. And also I was watching this guy, he said all the water's going up. So the only way for him to go is on a hill. And by that point, if there's helicopters and drones going over, it's very easy to spot him. You can't live in the water. So this is, unless he's somehow passed away and he's underneath that water, I mean, there would be birds, but if he's still alive in that reserve, he would have to be on a hilltop because he can't just be swimming and wading around water. We're not fish, right? So again, this is your first look into the campground of the campsite. So let's get into it. Let's all meet in Fort DeSoto. Okay. We can all do a search together. Honestly, I feel like, wouldn't it be amazing if the public saw this? Yeah, so if you guys watched the memorial, it was really cute. All the mom and dad and stepdad all got matching tattoos on the same night. And it was actually my dog, yeah, she's famous now. My little corgi, we adopted her. Yes, thank you to all my mods. So, Brian Laundrie manhunt. I mean, dog's theory makes more sense to me than the parent story. And I mean, honestly, how incredibly embarrassing for local police force and FBI if a TV personality finds this guy first. So again, this is an exclusive first look inside the secluded waterfront campsite where Dog the Bounty Hunter claims Brian Laundrie is hiding out. As is revealed that Brian and Gabby went there before. So reality star Dog the Bounty Hunter, who joined the hunt for missing Brian over the weekend, says a tipster alerted him to several recent trips the Laundrie made to the remote spot 75 miles north of the family home in Northport. Lots of places you can go. So again, this is the lawyer said that they released that they only stayed September 7th through September 8th and September 6th through September 7th. So that is what the lawyer said. Their lawyer has said September 6th through September 7th. So what does it say here? Roberta Laundrie, the mom, was there from September 6th to September 8th. That corroborates Dog the Bounty Hunter's story. Dog the Bounty Hunter also said they were there September 1st through to September 2nd. And as you can see here, there's no such records from September 1st through September 2nd. I don't know if we're still working on finding that, but this is what is breaking right now. The lawyer also stated that, all three of them left the campsite, but Dog the Bounty Hunter said he has evidence and allegations from people that, you know, allegedly only 3 went in and 2 came out. So, you know, he has, Dog the Bounty Hunter did tip it off to the authorities, the police department. However, he did not tip it off to the FBI. There has been no formal search of this campground as of this video. However, there could be potential that, you know, he is hiding on one of the islands. And, you know, I would love to see that happen. So we have, this is my favorite photo right here. There you go. Brian Laundrie behind bars. This is actually taken with Gabby at that historical site, at that campground. Pretty crazy stuff. Fort DeSoto, historical fort, people. I'm just going to dig around, maybe read the comments a bit, but hashtag justice for Gabby. You know, I do these live broadcasts because honestly, like, every time I cam up, there's at least 4,000 people watching me. And as long as you guys are into it, I'm into it. Just trying to meet a market, and I love to see it. As far as, you know, getting the other public report available to the public that he was at that campsite during the time frame that Dog the Bounty Hunter is. I'm gonna try to find that. Let's play the clip again. Yeah, so Florida documents do confirm this. Family camped out after Gabby Petito's disappearance. Wow. So it kind of gives me a creepy vibe a bit. Yeah, lots of places to go. It's based around a fort built in 1900. DeSoto contains more than 7 miles of waterfront, 11 floating docks, and multiple places to launch kayaks and canoes. So there you have it, folks. I see there's a lot of people here, which I love. 3,500 people. I'm just reading some of your comments. Thank you so much, guys. It's really awesome to see everybody here. Thank you so much. So yeah, this is my updates. I'm kind of out of things to say right now. So thank you so much for everybody for joining me tonight. I really appreciate all the positive feedback and everything else that you guys are saying in the chat. Thank you to my mods for making this a very productive and constructive live chat where we can talk about the Laundrie case and potentially help crack it. So thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys soon.